Welcome to Beware Spoilers. I'm Adam. Friday night. New movie releases this week, but I decided not to go to any of the new releases. I decided to go with one that came out either last week or 2 weeks ago. The Predator, which is a sequel to the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which, in full disclosure, I've never seen before. Bear with me tonight if I seem a little tired. I've been up since about 4 o'clock this morning, and it's now almost 10 o'clock at night. It's been a very long day. The Predator. I've seen it once. Just saw it. Just left the theater. I think that I have an issue with this movie in that it, I feel like a lot of the things that happen in the movie don't need to happen. For example, they have a kid who's autistic in it, who's, again, selectively autistic, like how I talked about Sam on Atypical, who is selectively autistic when the plot demands it. He displays his symptoms, but when the plot doesn't demand it, he doesn't. Similar, you have this kid who you could have omitted the fact that he's autistic altogether, and you would have had you could have just ignored that completely, and the story wouldn't have been impacted at all. So there's that. Olivia Munn, her character is just kind of there for a good amount of the movie. Doesn't really do anything besides spout exposition. This movie does highlight one problem I do have with movies like this sometimes. Science fiction in general has this problem where they do exposition twice, where they exposit something to one character, and then a few scenes later they will give the same information to other characters, the second hand. I think it's just a waste of time to do that. It's like, I don't need an explanation as to what the Predator is twice and quite literally the exact same way both times, because it gets explained to Olivia Munn, whose character name I'm forgetting right now. It gets explained to her by Sterling K. Brown, who is a delight in this movie, by the way. And if we're doing if we're doing a Superman movie, Michael B. Jordan as Superman, then I definitely want to see Sterling K. Brown as Pa Kent, because I feel like he could definitely be that supporting father that would fit in very well with what he should be, and not the Pa Kent we got in Man of Steel. Anyway, he explains to her what the Predator is, and there's a whole explanation as to that. Then she meets up with probably the most entertaining part of the movie, which is Boyd Holbrook and his gang of merry men, and she explains to them what the Predator is. I feel like there's a way in which you can do it where everyone gets explained to them at once, so that way we aren't sitting through these 2 5-minute long explanations as to what the Predator is and how it works. It's It's a little bit much to do it twice in the movie, but sure enough, they do it. Because they feel a need to explain it. Like, I understand from a narrative standpoint, you don't want to do like on Crisis on Earth X, where characters who aren't present to conversations just know it, but there's a happy medium between the two where you can have all characters involved in the conversation and then move on from there. This movie also has a lot of great humor in it. It's probably one of it's got some of the best humor in a movie I've seen all year. I've seen Deadpool 2. Infinity War had a few funny moments in the movie. But there are a lot of really great jokes in it. I'm forgetting them right now. I'm exhausted. But this movie is really worth your time to go see it right now. If you haven't seen it already, I would definitely go and see it while it's in theaters. I think it's definitely worth it. The only complaint I have with the movie, besides some narrative inconsistencies between what should and shouldn't be able to happen, is number one, the laws of physics regarding what the human body can withstand is kind of thrown by the wayside. where people should be not necessarily losing limbs, but at a minimum dislocating limbs from what they're doing, and they don't, but it's just, things just kind of happen. The other thing that movie has going against it is there are times where the effects are just terrible. Like when they blow up one of the Predator search dogs, it just kind of spouts goop everywhere, and it's reminiscent of Blade, how bad the effects are, and for a very small moment of time. There are other times where the effects are bad, but it's that one was one that really stood out to me. What else was there with this that needs to be addressed? Yeah, I mean, like, I got major Dragon Ball Z vibes at the end when he kidnaps his son. I was half expecting the son to escape and kick the Predator's ass himself, but no, that didn't happen. What else was there? The ending very much reminded me of Independence Day Resurgence. Like, they're setting up a sequel that probably won't happen, but it's good to kind of wish. And the sequel setup is basically we're going to take the fight to them now. But yeah, I think that, what's it called? It's a good movie. Does it deserve a sequel? Not necessarily. And especially when you get toward the end, it feels a lot like Independence Day Resurgence, where it's like you saw the old one at some point. Well, not me. I mean, I saw it because it was playing tonight. But you may have saw the original one, and now you're like, oh, there's a sequel, let me go see that. And you're kind of just like, oh, okay. I mean, either you're going to go in and you'll be disappointed because you're like, I'm looking for some depth to this movie, or you're going to go in and you're going to be just content like I am right now, where it's like I went to see a Man vs. Nature movie where it's a man versus the beast trying to, and it's just a man trying to use his wits to outwit a monster, which is what this movie is. If you go in expecting more than that, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in expecting to see a group of people try and kill an alien that's designed to kill, it's modified to kill, or genetically enhanced to kill, then you'll be very happily, I would say, satisfied with this movie. You get that. I could do out the subplots. I wish that we could just get to a world where it's like, look, we know why you're here. You're here to see them fight the alien. Let's just cut the shit and fight the alien. Like, Independence Day Resurgence, I'm here to see them blow up landmarks and fight aliens. It gets, like, they knew in that movie why you were there. So by the end of the movie, when they take down the alien ship, and then there's a giant mother alien running around with its own force field, and I was just like, this is what I came for. This is why I paid the $11.50 to go see this movie. And they understood that. Here, I feel like they're still trying to do something deep with character drama and stuff like that. So there's a subplot with him and his wife that kind of just fizzles out and goes nowhere. There's not much that can, that really warrants going deeper into this than just they successfully show you him fighting an alien with some over-the-top action sequences. What more do you want from a Predator movie? So if you haven't seen it, go see it if you're interested in that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll wrap it up with that for tonight. We'll have another movie next week on Monday. Tomorrow is Saturday, so we have Expand Your Collection. Sunday, we have Week 3 NFL, including coverage of that devastating loss, if you're a Jets fan, to the Browns last night. And then we'll have our 30-minute reviews on Thursday, as usual, with the, we're doing Season 1 of End of the Fucking World. So we'll be back with this podcast on Monday with some other movie. I don't know what movie I'm going to do. Probably Life Itself. So I could sit in the middle of the day on a Monday and not get too harshly judged. So yeah, probably Life Itself. We'll see.